How many of you did your homework? Okay. Okay. How many of you paid attention to class?
I know I don't.
All right. So how many of you studied for your test and your quizzes? It's not many hands up. All right. But honestly, I want you guys to know that all these things are the keys to success in high school. It's a simple formula. Do your homework, pay attention to class, and study for your exams and your tests. This formula is simple, and you too can be on the honor roll. You too can succeed in high school. I can tell you a story about when I was in high school. I'm a little tamer now, but I would like to say that in high school, I like to have fun too. Sometimes I would get in trouble. I wasn't going to the principal's office, but I was the kind of person that liked the attention, liked to talk. And until one day, one of my teachers came up to me and said, Seun, you're very smart. You have a lot of potential, but you need to take this a little more serious. If you take this a little more serious, you go a lot further in life, in college, just the whole 9 yards. So those words that my teacher said, the words of wisdom, they resonate with me till today. And I want to say that started to provide me with the inspiration, the fire to start to succeed and to achieve my goals. So also, I want to take a quick poll in this room. How many of you want to play professional ball? Just by show of hands. Professional ball, football and basketball. We got I want to say we have about 10 people in this room.
Some don't play with.
All right, guys. So, back in the day, I myself, I would like to call myself, I thought I was going to be the next MJ. All right. You laugh, sorry. So by MJ, I mean Michael Jordan, not Michael Jackson. So I go from school to school around Chicago, and I'm always doing a quick poll in my classrooms, especially with my middle school and my high school students. And a lot of times, I want to say, about half the class says that they want to play professional sports. So I go around the room, for instance, last week, I said, what do you guys want to do when you grow up? Football player, basketball player, football player. And then I stop the students. I let them know that, first of all, in Division I sports, you probably have about 12,000 for football. You have about 12,000 active players. In the NFL, each year, about 256 get drafted in all 7 rounds. So if you do that percentage, assuming that you do play Division I sports and you're studying in college, it's about a 2% chance. Basketball, even lower. It's about a 1 in a million chance that you will get drafted or play ball in the NBA. Although the chances are small, there's always a possibility. But I'd like to tell you another story. When I was 12 years old, I remember my dad coming up to me and saying, Seun, what do you want to be when you grow up? I looked at him proud. I said, I want to be in the NBA. My dad laughed. And he didn't laugh because I said I want to be in the NBA. He laughed because that was my only vision, that was my only goal. I thought to myself, that was the plan, that was the only plan. That I was going to be in the NBA, nothing else could deter me away from it. So what my dad did teach me at that point, he taught me that you need to work off a plan B. You can't just focus on just being in the NBA. He said, Seun, it's great that you have those dreams. Always keep your eye on those dreams, but make sure that you have a backup plan, a plan B. So that plan B is what we call preparing for the future. You got to prepare for the future. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So if you plan, you're going to prevent poor performance in the future. So some of you may say, college is not for me, or either I'm going to play ball, or I'm going to hustle, plain and simple, or even you have too many distractions in life. You could be working, you could be taking care of your siblings, and for my fellas, maybe you went to McDonald's and your girlfriend wanted a superstar. You just didn't see that coming. So in that essence, in all seriousness, we need to be very passionate about the things we do. So, with all those distractions you have in life, there's certain things where you have to remain focused. You gotta have something wasn't in me in terms of I felt like I needed to do better. And although that was great, I just didn't have that gratification. So what really started to spark it though was February 26, 2008 at 5:30 a.m. exactly. Let me tell you the importance of that day. On that day, my older brother, who was 26, passed away. He died. I literally was in the hospital and I watched him take his last breath. Probably one of the hardest days I've ever had in my life. It is the hardest day I've ever had in my life. And at that moment, I myself was saying, okay, so tomorrow's never promised. You know, people say that, but when you see that, your own sibling, you realize that, you know, tomorrow is not promised in this world. You know, we live every day like it is your last, and that's the truth. And I really understood that when I saw my brother. So I'll tell you the story because at that moment, my brother only being 26, you know, I'm 25, about to be 26. I thought to myself that, you know, if I were to die, will I be satisfied with my life? So knowing my brother wanted to accomplish so many more things, I decided to start a foundation in his name called the Seun Phillips Foundation. So the mission of that foundation is basically those who do have sickle cell anemia, which is what he passed away from. I'm going to aid in the research of sickle cell anemia, and in addition, students that go to the University of Illinois, which is the school he went to, we provide them different scholarships. So that foundation, I started to realize what it really means to have a passion. What it really means to have passion in life. Due to that,